Understand you soon, it won't be long. Keep on, keep running.
What is up, guys? It's Austin here, aka the Crypto Siphon, coming at you with another episode. Let's look at the market, guys. This market has been crazy recently. Throwing a lot of people for a lot of loops, but it's looking pretty good right now. I have to say, it's looking nice. I'm very cautious. I will say that right now. I very much will tell you guys to be cautious. I don't think this is a time to be greedy at the moment. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. This is merely just my opinion and for entertainment purposes. However, things are looking good. Let's go right into the charts. Let's see what's going on. So first thing that we saw last time, if you guys watched my video, if you've been following me on Twitter, you'll know what I've been up to. You know what I've been saying. The last video, if you watched it, I will tell you to go back and look at it. We were saying that we could have been in a potential massive falling wedge. This is still the case. There was two scenarios we're looking at. We were looking at the bullish scenario, which is the falling wedge, which is this tightening pattern in a downward triangle, right? Which we talked about. Then we have the bearish scenario, and we're going to go over the bearish scenario. But for now, let's take a look at the bullish scenario. So far, things are looking good, guys. Things are going according to the bullish scenario. That doesn't mean that we're going to fully follow through with it, because we could fail. We really could. But as we can see, we had a bit of a downtrend. You know, the downtrend line is not a huge thing for me. It's just something to, give. It's something to give the market where it's another resistance point that we need to get over. We made over it, but there's some other signs that are a little more important that we can look at. Like, for instance, we have the MACD at the bottom. We've been basically respecting this MACD line. The MACD has a bullish divergence. I've been saying that for a while now. We see it on the histogram as well. We've been ticking upwards. I know if you guys looked at the last video, I'm also a huge fan of the RSI. It really tells you a lot what's going on in the market in that moment. It's not a lagging indicator. It's real time. So I really like to take a look at the RSI a lot. I rely on it pretty heavily. Just like we talked about last time, guys. The last time Bitcoin had a reversal from the downtrend, we were noticing a bullish divergence on the RSI. We came down. We touched the RSI resistance level, or support level, should I say, around 24, 26 area. We didn't quite get that far last time. We got to about 30-ish, maybe 29. But then we started upticking on the RSI. The price was still moving down, but we had a bullish divergence on the RSI, and then we had an RSI resistance we couldn't get over right here with this sloping downward line, and we passed that. We peaked right out of it. If you look closely, we peaked out of that descending resistance line, and then we used it as support, and then we had a huge uptick, which was pretty awesome. And those were signs that I was looking at last time I took the trade on this market, which was pretty great. I was noticing very similar signs this time. Let's take a look again. We had an upticking on the RSI. The price is steadily moving down, guys. Notice here. Notice this, okay? This is hitting our RSI support. That is, the price point there is roughly 61.34. Then we got an even lower price, which is the lowest that we went to. And look at this, guys. Look at the price. The price is 57.83. Yet here on the RSI, I'll put a little arrow there, we've technically ticked upward. Look, guys, this isn't, don't start looking at this and saying, yeah, I'm going to place all my bets based on this. No, this is just one sign of many that we look for when we're looking for a reversal, when we're looking for the market to, I don't want to say bottom out, because I'm not sure if we're exactly bottoming out, but we're just looking for reversal patterns. We're looking for clues that can tell us that maybe the market is getting ready to do a drastic move. And this is one of the very clear-cut signs. One of many that we look at, guys. So we had a bullish divergence on the RSI. We had the same thing as last time. We had a resistance guys, a resistance on the RSI. I'm going to pull this down. I know this looks kind of crazy here, guys. We had a resistance on the RSI that we just could not get past. We could not get past that resistance, guys. Okay? However, we managed to do it. We broke out of it, and we broke out hard, which was awesome. And then I made these little lines here. These are RSI resistance points that we could have possibly touched and failed and reversed. And if we saw that, that would have not been good at all for us. Okay, we made it past the first one, which is at roughly 46, which is good. I even gave myself an alert for that. I remember getting on my phone. The next RSI resistance line we're looking at is roughly 58. Okay, guys. This will coincide with the price more than likely. If you look at the price, we made a nice big reversal here, guys. Not necessarily big, but a decent reversal here. We got past our descending resistance line, which, like I said, isn't huge, but it's noteworthy that we got past it, guys, and we're touching it for support. Okay? We're touching that for support. We're using the EMAs, the exponential moving averages, as support. We touched it, and we continued upward, which is a very good sign for a reversal, guys. Okay, these are the things that you want to look for when the price is going downward. You need to be looking for these signs. Where is the bullish divergence? Where does it look like the market is forming a bottom? Another one for me, which is when that initially piqued my interest, is this right here, guys. I know a lot of people aren't probably going to disagree with me on this, but these are just the signs that I look for, guys. You see that candle right there? Let me change the opacity of that. You see that right there? That candle right there was a large rejection candle for me. I saw that, noticed some strength in the market. Shortly afterward, we got this candle here. So these two candles right here, a rejection to the downside, right? A big rejection to the downside. We went all the way down to 57.80 or whatever it was, came back, closed at 61.50, let's just call it. Then that's the daily candle. Then the next day we had a spinning top. Okay? Typically, this is not every time, guys. Once again, these are just one of many signs. You put everything together and get the big picture. Typically, when you see a candle like this one here, this spinning top, let me delete this so I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see this. This spinning top candle, it's the body, and it's got two roughly equal wicks on each end. You see that there? Okay? That's a spinning top. When you see a spinning top, okay, at the bottom of a downtrend, when you're heavily going downward and you see that along with some decent rejection candles, guys, that means it's a clue of indecision in the market, that the market may not necessarily want to keep trending downward. Or even if it is going to trend downward, it wants to make a reversal before it continues that downward pattern. So those are the two clues that I took note of, guys, and so should you. These are the things that you look for when you're watching the market, when you're looking for a reversal, okay? So we made that downtrend before. We got these two candles. We should have peaked our interest right there. I know it peaked mine. I started looking at the RSI at that point, okay? I remember seeing this uptick here and be like, okay, all right, you know. Then we also had another sell-off. However, take notice of this, guys. This is another clue. If I can get this to work here. All right. What in the hell is that? What the hell is that? Okay. All right. So we have this touch here, right? Let me clone that. Right? And look at this. Okay. This is this here. This is our bottom here, 57.80-ish. And now we're came back 57.95-ish. We tried to break that lower low. Okay? We went down, the market sold off, and it tried to break that. Just like before, when we saw that candle that got rejected, that is our new low. Then we sold off. We got this spinning top candle, told us that we're potentially getting a reversal. We came back down, guys, okay? And we could not break that low. The bears failed, okay? They failed. They didn't have any more steam. The bears were out. So that means that most of the bears at that moment were either, I'm not going to say out of the market, but they were just not willing to sell anymore. And that means to me that we're potentially looking at a reversal. So I remember when I did this, when I was looking at this, I placed a trade here, guys. A small trade, okay? Because this is not something I condone anyone to do. It's only when you're used to doing technical analysis and you see the signs for yourself and you're fairly confident. Guys, the first thing I will tell you, if you're going to do a trade like this, don't gamble. I know some people look at this and say, yeah, you took a gamble. I don't, trading in general, there's times we are going to have to go with your strategy. And I abide by my strategy. And when I'm using my strategy and I see an entry point and my strategy tells me that I need to get in, then I'm going to get in. And that's how I follow my rules, guys. I don't go against my rules. And my rules were telling me to get in on this trade because there's a potential reversal coming. I had a very tight stop loss, guys. Very tight stop loss. So I placed a trade, okay, down here, all right, around 5,800, I think I want to say, something like that. And I put my stop loss just below our previous low. So if you were to do this, right, let's say you got in around this area, 5,800-ish. Your stop loss, okay. Why does this look like that? Oh, that's very strange. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So you say you're placing your trade around here. Your stop loss should be just below, okay. Some people will do 2%. Some people do 1%. So let's say we did 1%. Okay, let's just say 1% below. That's good enough for me. Okay, so let's say you put your stop loss at 57.50. Okay, that is what you're looking for. Okay, you don't want to take a trade on something like this and put a stop loss way down here. You don't want to go and be like, okay, I don't want to take any risks. I don't want to get stopped out. And you'll see somebody take a stop loss and they'll place a stop down at like 5,400 or something, or 5,500. Oh, make it a nice round number, right? No, that's not what you want to do, guys. If you're going to do a trade like this and you're just going to do a swing trade, okay, a small swing trade, put your stop loss just below the lowest low, okay, if you're doing a swing high, if you're going long. And obviously you can target the next level of resistance, which would have been where we're at just about right now, about 6,600 or so. That's if you wanted to play that game. Anyway, so those are the clues I look for, guys, and that's the reason why I went in on this trade, okay? I'm going to do a little zoom in here. This is what we're looking at. If you're following me on my Twitter, you'll see that I did mark this. We had this nice bull flag. I placed it on my Twitter. I said, this is a bull flag here. We're consolidating. It looks like we want to go to the upside. I noticed a nice bullish divergence towards the end of the bull flag. I noticed that this morning. I placed a picture on my Twitter, and I basically said, look, guys, I think we're going to get a break of this. If we do, this is how it should go, and we should go up towards at least 6,600. Okay? And that's exactly what happened. As you can see, this is where my target area was. Right now, it's anywhere between 6,600 to 6,800 was what I was looking to get, and that followed through pretty well. And we're looking pretty good right now, guys. Now, I'm not saying that this is the bottom. We have a triple bottom right now, and we're following this falling wedge thing exactly. That's not really what's going on. Before you guys, I know everyone wants to celebrate. It's over, Bye, Felicia. But it's a little too far ahead. A little too early for that, guys. There's some real good, serious resistance above us. We've made some really good pushes so far. It's very obvious the bulls are trying to make a comeback. We're not out of the woods yet, guys. Let's look at this. Okay. Number one, this is the daily chart. We have the 50 or 55 EMA at 70, roughly 7,200-ish, 71, 7,200. That's going to give us some resistance. but I marked it here on this chart, guys. Let me zoom out here so you can see it. Okay, so I know this is probably confusing to everybody, right? Okay, so let's look at the chart. Now, I drew this nice red price range here, about $400 price range or so. This is where we're going to run into some trouble, guys. We passed the 6,600 resistance, which is really good. Okay, that's a very big success for the bulls. The next level of resistance is going to be when we get inside this red rectangle. Okay, that's where we're going to see some fairly heavy resistance. That's where I'm targeting for the market to reach. I'm pretty confident that we're probably going to get there. But once we get in here, this is where it's going to get a little weird, a little tricky. We have the 55 moving average, like I mentioned, towards the top of the rectangle, about 71, 7,200, and the bottom's at 6,800-ish. Okay, guys? This is where we have some pretty heavy resistance. And if we can get through that, awesome. Great. Huge for the bulls, guys. Really liking it. But look, guys, we're not, like I said, we're not out of the woods. It doesn't mean that, everything's going to go perfectly to plan. It never does. It's possible, guys, that we could fail once we get into this resistance area. That is entirely possible. I want you guys to take note of something. It's really awesome that we're having such great, rallies here. We got nice bull flags. We're breaking out of the bull flags as we should. But I want you guys to take note of something here. Look at this. Okay. So notice how we have a series of falling wedges, right? Okay. Just like right here. This is like a mini falling wedge, but it is what it is. You got a nice mini falling wedge here, we'll call that, right? Notice what happened afterwards. We got a mini falling wedge. We broke out. And we went to a really steep downtrend. Okay. Same thing here. We got a nice falling wedge. We broke out. And we had a really steep fall off. We had a major capitulation. Okay. So that's one. That's two. And we can spot some more, I'm sure. This one here. Let's see. Do I consider that a falling wedge? I don't know about that. That might be a stretch. Anyways, that doesn't... Too many freaking lines in the chart anyways. But regardless, the point is that it's pretty common in Bitcoin's patterns that you get a falling wedge and then we get a breakout, a decent breakout, right? Like right here. Let's see what we got here. We broke out of this falling wedge. We retraced quite nicely, actually pretty big. We had a very large retracement out of this, right? Almost 100% over the 78.6% retrace, right? This one here, we broke out. Went up to about the 38% mark, and then we fell hard. This one too, guys. We had a nice little rally after this one, but we fell really hard. This one here, we had a nice little rally, and we fell really hard. I mean, we had pretty massive falls here, guys. So I'm not saying this is exactly going to happen, but Bitcoin's got a lot of patterns you want to take note of. And look at all these bear flags, guys, that we came out of. I mean, there's like 6 bear flags. I think there's one I didn't even include in there. But there's basically like 6 bear flags that Bitcoin has come out of. So this is what I'm a little worried about. And why I'm telling everyone to be careful, have an exit strategy, guys. Have an exit strategy. If you've already gotten into a position, know when you're going to get out, okay? It's possible, guys, that we could do something like this. So we might go up, touch the resistance, and fail, okay? That would be very bad, all right? I'm not saying it's 100% going to happen. I'm not saying I want that to happen. I definitely don't want that to happen. But, I mean, regardless to me, I'll trade it either way. But I'm just telling you guys to be careful. It's very possible that we can go up just like we did before. Okay, we have a nice little, let's see, right here. Let's get rid of that. We got a nice little descending wedge here, right, that we came out of, which was cool, right? It was good that we came out of this wedge, okay? However, we might do exactly what we've done before. Come up, make a nice little rally, hit some major resistance, and then fail, okay? So I want you guys to take note of that. I want you guys to be aware of that. It's something you need to keep in the back of your mind because anything is possible right now, guys. This market is, I don't want to say, I know a lot of people call for manipulation, but there's just a lack of liquidity in the market, guys. There's mostly bots and, larger players taking these swings in the market. And because of the lack of liquidity in the market and the lack of volume that we're seeing, guys, they can really push the market in the directions that they want. So be careful, okay? Have an exit strategy. That's the most important thing. You need to preserve your capital, guys. What else I want to take a look at here? This bull flag, hopefully if we can get out of this bull flag, guys, would be nice. If we can have a nice little run up here, maybe we'll consolidate for a while. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Can't tell you. But if we do, we'd be looking to make a push, guys, up to the 7,000. Anywhere from 68 to 7,200, anywhere in this red box, we'd be make a nice little push too. If we get through that, guys, if we can push, what I'm looking for is to push above 6,800, guys. If we can push above 6,800 and maybe consolidate for a while, then I think we'll be looking pretty good. Consolidate, go sideways for a while. Then we'll probably be looking to make a nice little push above to this area here, anywhere between 7,300 or let me say 7,400 to 7,800, maybe 8,000. That's probably a little more unlikely, but somewhere in that range. That's what I'm looking at. There's a little bit of news here, which I thought was cool. Coinbase just said today that they released the new custody service is now live. It says that Coinbase custody aimed at institutional hedge funds and other clients who can deposit a minimum of $10 million accepted its first deposit last week. The company announced on Twitter now the service is live for all customers. So that means that these large hedge funds can go in and start putting capital with Coinbase, and that could be a large source of liquidity for the market. I'm not saying it's, exactly what's going to happen, but, it's something to think about, guys. It could be a good news for everybody. But my only thing is, like I said before, just be careful, guys. None of this is 100%. We need to just make sure that we preserve our capital, guys. All right, that's pretty much what I have for the small update. Hopefully, if we keep going up, I'll make another video. I'll give you guys another my thoughts on what's going on. For now, if you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one.